Yeah.
And so if you walk over that hole...
I think we misjudge Colombian drug lords, said Knutson.
Morally, I don't see anything wrong with what they do.
Well, I believe in the legalization of all drugs, so yeah.
Well, you know, look...
Short-circuiting, that was
It's culture
easy.
of self-responsibility, man.
Yeah.
Just know what you should and should not put in your face.
Yeah. Did you fuck yourself up? Yes, but... No. No, but. You're an idiot.
Do you really need the
Excellent.
law
The
to
circuit
explain
board
that
has
to you?
power now, and my work is nearly done.
So yeah, I've powered up the circuit board. I'm about to push a button and make a thing
Yeah,
happen.
power.
Don't put lids from old tins between your teeth. That shit hurts.
Okay, so now I've done this, and...
And you've done something monstrous?
Yeah, well, I've overloaded this thing. There was also a teddy bear on a noose in this room. That seems to, like, yeah, I must have edited out the bit where I looked at it, but there was just, you get the wire from it, and you get some eyes from it. So yeah, teddy bear on a noose, I like that. And so yeah, I blow up the building and just survive because...
The man inside the stockroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I thought the monstrous thing was just not letting him out, but no, we have exploded
Killed
him.
an innocent human being.
We have
He wasn't a knowing part of the revolution. He was just a dude that worked in the fucking TV store.
we have destroyed a consciousness. We have destroyed everything that man ever was, will, or will be.
Yeah, and I'm like...
Was, is, or will
Mess
be,
of
rather.
that power station. Well, at least the flames
Yeah, you really made a
warmed the
mess
place
of the
up a bit.
guy inside
Yeah.
it.
And then I saw this over here and was like, huh.
Oh, you literally did kill the man. Because his ghost is here.
Yeah, it looks like the ghost of the guy on the TV, though. That's the thing. I mean, you can't look at it, you can't acknowledge it, and I'm just like, I just killed a man. I just killed, like, an innocent human being. This wasn't, like, one of the norms or anyone who could be said to be part of the
Or maybe
fucking
that's,
problem.
maybe that's just how he visually identifies himself.
Possibly.
Because, you know, when you talk about people recreating their images from their images of themselves in their minds, ourselves are one of the few things we look at on a regular basis. Because we're inside ourselves.
But, yeah, we frequently get it wrong, too.
I mean, there's a line from Red Dwarf where Rimmer says, it's not easy to look in the mirror every morning and see a guy nobody likes. And the cat says, well, how do you think we feel? We have to look at it all day.
That was one of Rimmer's actual brutal lines of pathos, so it was really...
Would you
Yeah.
believe me if I
It's
said it
just
was
like,
locked?
He was a sad man as well as a twat.
That's the, like, that was one of the things where he was a twat character, but you felt for him.
Yeah, a character to be pitied.
Yeah.
This is
And you
one
kind of...
substantial slab
Yeah,
of metal.
like early Rimmer, like the first 2 seasons, you know, of that show was one of the best stuff ever. And it was heartbreaking.
Oh, that was a lot of firecrackers in that box.
Yeah, they're still going, and I have to get a tube.
Of course.
And
Now
some-
let's go into this unsupervised destroyed mall and loot the place. You monster.
Oh, nobody cares that much. And this is one of those ones, like, you know, the games where, because you have a physical presence in the area, so there are some things you can't pick up unless you're close to it.
You know what kind of surprises me is that you go from the outside of the mall to the inside of the mall without a loading
I'll just
transition.
take 3.
Yeah. I kept expecting there to be a loading transition there, so I'd, like, always save it before I
Was
did.
that a jump cut?
Yeah, that was just a jump cut, because I walked around for ages trying to work out, like...
Well, at least there's something you cut out.
No, I cut a fair bit out, so I forgot a few bits too, because it's hard to tell the bits that's meant to be in here. So yeah, there's the rubber pipe that I need,
I can't reach it from
but
here.
I can't just... I have to be close to it.
Remind me what
can't
the
reach it
controls
from
of this
here.
game were, because I know they weren't WASD and
I
mouse.
can't reach it from
Oh,
here.
no. Yeah, that's another fun thing, is trying to play these games back when there was no
can't reach
mouse
it
look.
from here.
Up, down, left, right was forward, back, look,
I can't
like
reach
rotate
it from
left and
here.
rotate right, there was no strafe.
Yeah, I remember I played a lot of 2.5D shooters still with the cursor
grab it
keys.
now.
Oh,
And
God, it's
without
bad.
mouse look because
And yeah,
I
no
didn't
mouse
know,
look.
because I knew no better.
And so basically I have to get a rubber pipe and hook it up to the bathroom, which smells like
Yeah,
fart
I
because of
could
the
connect this
really
pipe
glitchy
between the
fucking
wall
thing
vent
from
and the
ages
truck
ago.
air intake.
And then I hook it up to the norm truck.
I remember you could. Oh god, you monster! I remember you could get mouse look for 2.5D shooters.
Duke Nukem 3D, I know you could. I'm pretty sure that was the first one, but it was so grotesquely implemented.
I think you could look left and right, but you couldn't look up and down with mouse look.
Which, not helping.
No.
There's little point in causing aggravation when we're locked together in this truck.
See, this
Now
is
that-
Rimmer and Lister.
That's a Liverpool accent, that is.
Control your emissions. It was not me, no. Leader Paul
Yeah,
will hear
this
of
is-
this
I don't know, for some reason I
disgusting
just thought we were in
incident,
Leicester when
if
this
his
was going
nose
on.
doesn't
Yeah,
detect
these
it based on it. You
Gremlin
did.
Interactive must have been based in the north of
Why not
England,
just
and these were the
completely?
voice
You
actors
got
that happened to be
Okay,
sitting
this
around.
line.
Sauce bottle, you can talk.
Oh, that's
Smells like
evocative.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I heard that, I was just like, ah!
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, credit where it's due, that was a good line. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably an old Britishism, but,
No,
that's
I never heard that one before.
That's
that was
visual.
good. An arse like the top of a brown sauce
yeah,
bottle.
that's visual. That's very visual. And now they're vomiting and they flee the truck, which
Well, I
is good,
suppose we should be grateful you didn't gas them to death
yeah. You know when Di died earlier?
when Di died.
Yeah, he didn't die, he's just in the truck.
A die, a do.
You're getting tired.
So they weren't taking him to hospital or anything.
Nah, they probably just fixed him with magic and now he's fine. There he is.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That consequence that happened earlier, yeah, that's meaningless.
I guess they just shot that hip flask full of ketchup he kept in his coat.
They're only allowed to have airsoft guns, isn't it?
I guess alcohol would be banned in this unfun society.
Uh,
So you got to fill your hip flasks with condiments.
and let them go off, just long enough.
In case you're caught short with a bag of chips, it makes sense. In fact, I might do that now. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to fill a hip flask with brown sauce. HP
HP
sauce. I love HP sauce.
So do I.
So I'm having chips at like grill or something and there's no HP sauce. I just pull out my hip flask.
I got Di out. We all accomplished our mission.
Can't bring your own sauce. I'd just stare at someone who did that. Like, it'd just be perplexing to me. I'd just be like, wow, that's interesting.
Well, that's what makes it a good code of
Where are
behavior.
Bri and
It's the
Di?
kind of thing that people will look at you like you're mad, but it makes sense when you explain it.
Okay, now bear with me here. I'm going to slowly explain while I'm doing this really odd thing, and that's going to make me seem less insane. Hey, where are you going?
The hip flask might have like the neck might be too narrow
Yeah.
with brown sauce. Maybe vinegar. Bit of malt vinegar to put on your chips.
Malt vinegar on chips is nice.
I love that.
And so now I have to get the
Let's think
materials
about-
to build a ground-to-air missile.
Ah, fuck that. Let's just think about our favourite chips some more.
Favorite chips.
You just can't do chips in Australia like they used to do in the English fish and chip shops. Because they try to actually make good chips here. They just, in England, they just soak them in animal fats for half an hour. You'd hold them by one end and they'd just droop.
Yeah, here they actually try to make them tasty.
Those
Which works.
were good chips, though.
It's just fucking globs of
Tasted good like a bowl full of cookie dough tastes good. You can feel your like guts screaming at you while you eat it.
It's like eating paper mache.
Anyway, what's wrong with Soul?
Saul's going insane because he put part of his brain into the mood thing, and so basically you have to find his brain.
I guess that's why it was a once-in-a-lifetime invention. Because he had to use part of his brain in the workings.
Once in a lifetime.
Okay, a missile.
Still, that's commitment.
Yeah.
What exactly?
Yeah, so essentially we need a missile to break the pollution machine on top of the prison.
You are a monster, Kent Knutson.
Yeah, so this has evolved from pranks to blowing up an innocent individual to
Yeah.
the construction of weapons.
Yeah, we are a terrorist.
This is actually a really good microcosm of the problem of all revolutionary forces. This is
terrorist-
generally what pattern they follow.
Yeah, we are a terrorist, and we dress like a twat. We are irredeemable from every angle.
With a few remarkable modern exceptions, though. Egypt's been a really interesting case study in sort of a population overthrow of political regimes, actually, because it looked like
Well,
it
it
could have gone
worked
really
out.
bad.
It worked out well for them, didn't it?
Well, no, but that's the weird thing, is it looked like it was gonna go really bad, but then they were like, nuh-uh, combo revolution, and had a second one, like a year after the first one, and was like, no, you're not allowed to be a dick, fuck off, we want this done right. And it's been rather impressive, like, there's really an amazing amount of human good that's come out of that.
Well, you know what I worry is that the Egyptian people are being a bit fussy, and they're just gonna. And they're just gonna end up like, you know, someone trying on dresses in a shop.
That said with a British accent is just perfect. Like,
And saying, are you gonna have a revolution every time things are a little bit crap now? You just can't be pleased, can you? Can you? You won't be told. It's going, well, can we just have a little bit less oppression, I think. Better have one more revolution to make sure.
hello, I'd like rights. That was that was.
I'm just saying, we all live with a bit of oppression. If you let them think that a revolution will solve everything, that's all they're gonna do.
Well, I mean, normally that's what happens. There's a big you know, swell of human ability that gets rid of the first lot of assholes, and then it's used up, and the second lot of assholes get stuck in there for a while.
Well, you need to give it some time. The assholes need to keep things alright for time before they start oppressing again. You need to get people used to it. If people still remember the revolution and how well it went the first time, they're going to do another, aren't they?
Well, that's the thing, like, Morsi didn't even get, like, as bad asshole as the first one. And then, they were just like, no, fuck you. And that's what's really impressive. Like, the no fuck you part was...
You've been spoiled, you have, people of Egypt.
No, but I mean, you know, it's been rather hearteningly positive. Like, even though there have been bad things that have been coming out of it, it's been, like, the overall trajectory of it has been rather fascinatingly positive.
This is what happens when you let kids have their way just because they threw a tantrum. I mean, the society in this... I mean, as oppressive as this society is, they'd be well advised to ignore all the acts of the terrorists.
Yeah.
Because this is why...
Just gives them attention.
This is why nations have a policy of not negotiating with terrorists, because the moment you do that, you communicate to them and to every other terrorist that that method works. So you could throw your, like, fun revolution, get everyone to dress like a twat, but everyone who likes to be soberly dressed will think, well, the world doesn't work out for us anymore, maybe we should throw a revolution, because it seemed to work so well for those guys.
Yeah, but, you know, a revolution is kind of the most... the quickest form of democracy, where it's really just who has the most at the moment. And that's kind of what's been happening. But I mean, like, even, you know, things like the human walls people have been forming around female protesters so they don't get groped and abused. Which is, again, you don't see that. Like, that's been a rather new one and a rather impressive piece of,
It's a little patronizing, isn't it?
What? No, dude, like, you know...
Well, I suppose in an anti-female society.
Well, it's to protect them from, it's to protect them from lunatics.
Right.
And so it's been rather impressive. And it's also a really good sign of that there is a sort of masculine culture in that area that isn't like... Fuck, God, that looks like a rapey Mr. Hoppy. Mr. Hoppy, no!
Yeah, that was Mr. Hoppy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was the mastermind.
He really was.
Oh, and there's Downs Elvis again.
Downs Elvis.
Someone's like dressed him up like Ringo Starr since we saw him last.
It's one of those terrible things where if you ever want to have a really morbid, a really cruel chuckle, just like imagine imagine any song sung by a kid with a real thick Downs accent.
Yeah, don't picture it, and let's not demonstrate it.
I'm not going to demonstrate it. Yes, and I said it's a really mean-spirited, like it's a horrible thing to do.
There's no coming back from that. That is the Kent Knutson barrier. We have become...
We just hit the cunt barrier.
We fought monster... Oh, a map screen. That's
yeah,
surprising.
This was after I worked out how to get the map screen to record without glitching.
So here's the map screen we were using the whole time and never saw. I hope it was everything you dreamed of, viewer.
A giant pile of whoop-de-fucking shit. Yes.
What?
Yes, you do.
Well, that never stopped you before.
In my house, we call them uh-ohs. And yeah, now I have to, build a missile, so of course that takes planks.
My house, we call them the Instant Party.
Fire helps us play. And you couldn't pick up the firecracker earlier if you hadn't already got this mission.
The voices stop talking when the fires are lit.
It keeps the voices busy. The voices lack fire.
I'll just take half of it for now.
What's we doing now? I'm still trying to get to the stadium.
Yellow waffle sounds like a gross internet thing.
Actually, I like yellow.
I think that's reaching a bit. I mean, maybe you could try to come up with some kind of dodgy sexual practice that might go by that name.
Have you ever seen blue waffle?
Maybe. Maybe if it was a red waffle, it could refer to spanking with a tennis racket.
Well, just Google blue waffle for me.
Okay.
With safe search off later.
I've never heard of the blue waffle.
Oh. Okay, right now, all the YouTube listeners are like,
I like the idea of spanking with the red waffle, though. Spanking with the tennis racket.
A squash racket.
A squash racket.
Yeah, it's better.
Well, that makes more sense, doesn't it? What is the blue waffle? Just tell me.
Just look it up.
No, you tell me now.
No.
Well, I'm not going to look it up.
Well, the YouTube comments will explain it to you. I'll probably give you a
I don't
link.
read the YouTube comments because they're full of twats.
I'm going to tell my agent to get me
I find it interesting, like, I forget that people still look at the old videos, so I'll go back and, like, some of them have been derailed into weird places. One of them, I can't remember which, I swear, like, the last, like, all the top comments at the moment, like, the most recent comments are all in French or something. So it's like, at some point, some French people have gotten into an argument on there. I was like,
Oh, Kent Knutson is being monstrous again.
Yeah.
He said, look at the cylinder that says danger, highly toxic gas in it. You can just imagine his little beady eyes lighting up as he was reading that.
Lights up like the time he strangled that kitten for no reason.
Well, of course it was for a reason. It was because he wanted to jerk off.
It's the only way I can come.
I mean, people say, like, doing things for no reason, but even the mad person has a reason. It might make sense to him alone.
Everything's logical. There are only things that can be deemed irrational.
Yeah, there's just different, like, interpretations of reason.
Value.
Everyone's got their own rationality.
Everyone's got... That sounds like a really great thing, like a really great PSA thing for kids. Everyone has their own rationality. Don't judge the kid because he kills kittens.
Yes.
Can't.
Some
They're
people
too
are
heavy
told
and
by
awkward
God
to
to
lift.
murder hookers.
But I may be able to
All their
roll
kids.
You can't
I
judge.
can't lift them high enough to put them on there.
Only God can judge me as I let my child die.
I mean,
Not
some
give it-
people say God tells them to kill hookers. Some
I don't
people
wanna
say
start
God
a
tells them to
fire
run
here,
for
do
president.
I?
One of these is societally
It just
accepted.
doesn't want to open. I
Uh,
can't lift them high enough.
and
to
one
put
day
them on
it'll all
there.
be viewed as it is, a terrible mental ailment of the
It needs to
weak
be
and
on the
depressed.
water.
Well, it kind of is in the
Realize its
UK.
full
I mean, in the UK, when politicians talk about deeply religious, everyone kind of like
Looks at him.
gets kind of nervous and looks away.
Oh my goodness, a weirdo.
Oh God!
Well, I mean, between the
think
general evolution of the species and the Catholics raping every child in sight, religion's on the fall.
I think
in the UK.
I think it's because the Brit. Well, it's always been on the fall. England's already a pretty secular society. I think
can't.
what it
They're
is
too
with
heavy and
England
awkward to
is
lift.
that we've gone through all that.
Yeah.
We invented our own church because our king wanted to divorce someone. I think, yeah, we're done with that. We did our crusades. That didn't end well. We're pretty much not particularly sold on the idea ever since.
What I also like is how much of the old British paganism is still just like existing within sort of British Christianity.
But
Like,
they do it in a sort of like fun way.
yeah, it's fun. Well, you know,
Yeah, so, hey, we have fun little things at Stonehenge,
Yeah.
just to have a laugh, just for
well,
things
the
to do.
maypole, you know, the Yule log, the whole idea of the Christmas tree. I mean,
And now he's surfing because, of course, he is. It is
Yeah.
the 90s, and he
because
is cool.
radical.
Ugh.
Jesus, shit Christ.
Don't sneak up on us like that.
And now she's made a missile, and that's acceptable.
Yes. She still hasn't put any like protective gloves on or anything.
No. And look how big she was compared to the fucking, like...
And yes, go off, destroy lives,
Terrorism's okay, kids.
kill people, cause millions of pounds of damage to property.
Kill people.
Godspeed, you little apocalypse in a can, you.
Remember, all authority is bad if you disagree with it, so it's okay to kill.
Yes. I mean, everyone should be allowed to dress and do whatever they want, unless
All
what
the
they want to
time.
do is rape kids. That is maybe a little bit of order is necessary.
Just a few things.
I remembered what I could
Don't fuck kids, don't fuck people who don't want you to, and don't
No,
kill
the
people.
grimy overcast sky has been replaced by a different coloured grimy overcast sky. We've saved the day.
Call it eye fucking in blue.
So, you want me to fetch this brain back
We
up
didn't
device
bother
of
giving
yours,
any of these
Samsung?
characters
That's
any
right.
other animations.
La, la, la.
on it.
I knew
Except
you'd say
in
that.
free-rendered cutscenes. In fact, no one moves at all except in free-rendered cutscenes.
They move in that weird physical version of the Peanuts.
And in the grand tradition of the classic video game resistance movement, we're the only ones who do any work.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Rage. The
I never played Rage.
Hi, extremely hungover person who just was unfrozen from chronic preservation. Would you mind, like, spearheading the resistance for us?
What?
We know you've only been out for, like, 6 hours at most.
I don't. What?
Can I have a coffee?
The last thing I remember is going to the doctor. What? Everyone I know is dead?
Yeah, that was one of those games where they never actually showed you the evil government you're supposed to be rebelling against until right at the end.
That's another shitty, Just trust me, they're evil. Normality. And this is the last stage, essentially. So. Yeah. It speeds up now. You pretty much get locked in this location, so you can't go to any other locations anymore, which is sort of lazy.
Yes, the end is in sight.
Yeah.
I guess
Ooh, that's a relief.
We're creating our evil society run by madmen.
Yeah, real tasteful.
Replace
Looks
one
more
mother
like the
cunts
cover
with
of a heavy
another.
metal album.
Revolution, motherfucker.
Oh, look, it's those Jamaican guards again.
Welcome, citizens of Metropolis, to a gathering
Rasta
to
Guardians.
commemorate the death of Brother Saul. And to reassure one and all
Now that the end is in
the
sight, all my, like, air has gone out of me. I'm like, let's just coast from this point on. Let's just enjoy Corey Feldman.
That's
Now,
it's been so long since somebody said
Now,
that.
there's 3 words that are never put in that order, are they?
You know who says that every morning? Corey Feldman into the mirror. Wakes up, takes a big sigh.
Hello, world. Hope you're all ready to enjoy Corey Feldman.
Let's just enjoy Corey Feldman.
Now, Corey Feldman enjoy is used occasionally. Corey Feldman enjoy masturbating while looking at dead cats.
Enjoy your cereal.
Sorry, that was extremely spurious assumptions on my part. I'm sure Corey Feldman is as normal as every child star who has now grown up.
I mean, I think, he did the best given the circumstances. I mean, it's like seeing, like, those, whatever the most recent, like, fucking little Disney girl has just gone mental. It's like,
It always happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost as if the way they're brought up, like, engenders that sort of behaviour.
yeah, there's almost something to that. There's only, like, a few who've managed to survive.
Jodie Foster, she was a child star.
Yeah.
She was the prostitute in Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And look at her now.
It's not okay to masturbate to that, people. It's the same as, Tallulah and, Bugsy Malone.
Christina Ricci was doing alright for a while. Don't know where she is now, though.
That went downhill. She started stealing stuff from stores for no reason.
Well, everyone does that. Winona Ryder did that.
Oh wait, that was Winona Ryder. I get her and Christina Ricci mixed up.
Well,
I feel really bad for Christina Ricci now, because I love her. The Addams Family movies were some of my favorites. Still some of my favorites.
She was in Sleepy Hollow. That's the last one I remember.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I think was she in Girl Interrupted?
I think so. Yeah. That might have been the other one.
Possibly. Anyway,
if we had to take one thing away from this Let's Play, was she the one in Girl Interrupted? That sums up this.
Okay,
I don't think she was actually.
It might have been Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder was playing a young lady for way too long.
Take that, Winona. I know you listen to these.
Yes, back to the plot. We're in the stadium.
Yeah.
We're looking for Saul's brain.
Yeah. We have to get onto the stage with Saul's brain and give, Dingbatty's fucking guitar.
Yep, and all the rest of the Resistance are all wearing comedy beards.
Yeah,
They're
they're
in
all
disguise.
wearing excellent disguises.
And it's a lol.
A cheerful,
Hurts me.
alert old
That was
man.
deadpan.
He was
Lol.
once
It was an
the
ironic lol. See, we say lol because that's what our neck does when we're doing it. Lol.
Saying it just switches part of me off, rather. Shaft.
See, that's how you know we're running dry. Because we're going to the Beavis and Butthead levels.
No, there is.
Shaft.
There are two things that will always make me giggle. Bum as a verb. One of my favorite.
Can I bum a fag, mate?
Well, no, but in terms of the act of buggery.
Yes.
Bumming.
Want a bum?
Yeah.
Let's have a bum.
Hey, say, Charlie, I feel up for some bumming.
Yeah, let's have a bum. Let's
The
bum
other
each
one
other.
is root as a verb. Always makes me laugh.
Let's have a bum, and then, once we've had enough of that, let's have a root.
Like, it's such... Root's an Australian one. Like, root's very Australian.
Let's have a bum, then a root, or a root, then a bum, or perhaps a bum during a root.
I remember once I was in, like, sex ed in year 12. And bear in mind, this is year 12. So, 17-year-olds should at least fathom bits. And the teacher just asked,
Fathom bits.
well, just in general. You're not... There's... If you were homeschooled, I'll tolerate a degree of insane ignorance by
I
that
feel
stage.
like we've been awake for 72 hours.
But the teacher asked what constitutes a relationship, and the most bogan human being that I've ever met just put up his hand and goes, having a root. And the whole class, like, even the teacher was just, there was this pause of just, oh god. He's gonna have a wife one day.
Having
Like,
a root.
yeah. He's
Very
gonna,
casual way of putting it, isn't it?
having a root.
Would you care to make love, my darling?
There have been a few times, like, every girl that I've slept with has been very tolerant.
Well,
Most- yeah,
they'd have to be,
basically,
wouldn't they?
because, don't get me wrong, like, I can be seen as charmingly funny, but then, because my sense
that-
of humor is the most important thing to me, I'm funny in times when it's only funny to me.
Yeah, that wears out fast in the bedroom.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
That wears out fast when you're rubbing at the clitoris.
It's the only funny thing to me part, and there've been only two things that have ever completely stopped me from getting laid, and one of them was doing my impression of Thingo's character from Blue Velvet. Yeah, like, because I used
Dennis
to have...
Hopper.
Yeah, the Dennis Hopper's character from Blue Velvet, because I had this old Ventolin nebulizer, like March, from back when I used to have really bad asthma, so I huffed on it, because both me and my girlfriend at the time really liked Blue Velvet. So I huffed on it a bunch of times, like, his character was, because he was a fucking nitrous oxide addict.
Yeah.
And then just started just looking at it going, Gaby wanna fuck, Gaby wanna and she just looked at me like, just, no. And it was off. Like, not having sex that evening, that fucking blocked it.
Well, it's very unsexy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was, well, no, don't get me wrong. This girl had put up with a lot. So, it was interesting to finally find the limit.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I
She's
don't
like
know. I forgot
2
what the
feet
second
tall.
one
She's
was.
like 2 feet taller than you.
Giantess.
She's an Amazon, she is.
I'm not opposed to taller women. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Well, I like taller women because they're the only ones that are the same height as me.
Yeah.
I
easy.
don't have to, like, bend my knees to kiss them.
I'm easy. Doesn't bother me.
How do I get
I ain't
onto the
picky. I find it peculiar people that could have, like, types, like they're ordering pizzas. It's just peculiar.
I'm astonished the battery on the audio recorder has lasted this long, to be honest.
Whee!
I don't think that would go down well.
This is all new audio recording equipment, by the way.
Yeah, this is where we're at in things to talk about.
Oh, no.
The audio recording equipment.
Although after this, it will probably explode.
I'd like to praise Behringer Microphones for making these awesome mics.
Yes, they are lovely mics.
Yeah.
They come in a little briefcase.
The Wii Box for supporting your laptop.
How about we talk about how Solness Lux is now dressed like Will.i.am for some reason?
I hate the Black Eyed Peas.
I've met Will.i.am.
Really?
Yeah, it was at the Webby Awards.
That's weird.
He complimented my hat. He had a similar one on, but his was white.
Yeah, that was...
Which is weird, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
I was a white guy in a black suit and a black fedora.
You are like the reverse Will.i.am.
And he was a black guy in a white suit and a white fedora.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. And we had similar beards.
Yeah.
I think we should have hung out.
He's like achingly cool and you're like achingly British.
I'm cool. I'm cool in my own way.
Your own special way. We're all different and we each have our own qualities.
Will.i.am is cool in the same way Kent Knutson's outfit was at one point for like 2 minutes in the 90s considered cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, Will.i.am also sung on a song called My Humps, so he's lost any credit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I'm cool because I'm dignified. The original meaning of cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, My Humps could literally be renamed Booby Booby Bum Bum and still be the same fucking song.
Basically.
I hate that.
Like, I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
That at least had other lyrics.
Like that.
That had some rather eloquent discussions about butts.
I kind of want to. So this is my like childish sense of humor coming back in a flash because I can't even say the phrase. I kind of like to write a song called.
You're literally breaking. You can't finish this. This is. I need to know what this is now.
I'd like to write a song called that phrase you said.
Booby
Because
Booby Bum Bum. Yeah, I've made Yahtzee laugh a couple of times, and this is the hardest I've seen him laugh, like literally like holding his face, trying not to
I'm
break.
sorry, there's something wrong with the way my brain interprets like childish
fucking
swear words.
great.
It's my oppressive British upbringing.
You're like crying. This is fucking insane. There it is. Okay, there's Yahtzee's sense of humor. There it is. All this intellect, all this analysis, all this critique brought to its knees by Booby Booby Bum Bum. There he goes again.
Well, I'm sorry. The fact that I usually work in sophisticated humor is why this sort of gets through my defenses.
Oh, this is fantastic. In my head, it's the tune of Ruby Soho, like Destination Unknown, Booby 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 Bum Bum.
Oh, God.
Okay, this is, you know what to say when you meet Yahtzee now. This will be the phrase that haunts him for the rest
I've
of
had
his
this
life.
happen with phrases to me in the past,
Fantastic.
but they've
Dude,
gradually lost their effect.
Oh yeah, it'll wear off like everything, but
Yes.
I mean, you're like shaking. This is insane.
Like it used to happen with the phrase "bum fart piss willy," but now I can say that and it's fine.
Yeah, it's
so,
fine.
so with practice, I will be able to say the phrase "booby poop."
You can't say it. This is amazing.
Great in the dark now.
you got tears streaming from your face.
I'm sorry, Sorry, it's been so long we've been doing this video. Alright, back to the game. We're in the tunnels.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wolfenstein.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
And
Sewers,
there's-
surrounded by poo. You're in your element, cunt.
Yeah. I'm in a rectal, you know.
And presumably we know that we're going to find Saul's brain down here
Yeah,
somewhere.
because there's a lab down here, and basically I had to find batteries to turn on some night vision goggles in order to look around, because there's bits of wall I can break that look slightly different.
What I remember is that I was really stuck on this section for ages, and I was so frustrated because I could taste the end of the game. I could taste it.
Yeah, and it's not a very good taste either. I know, like the area is more of a maze than it needs to be, but basically yeah, you need to use the guitar.
I'm going over the phrase in my head. I'm trying to wean myself.
It tastes like booby bum bum.
Stop.
Okay, dude, I'm not. Are you kidding? I love this.
Oh, God.
Alright, this was actually cool. This was one of the few cool things the game did, like when you get close to like the fucking brain thoughts leaking out, and it makes this weird whispering noise and it's creepy.
And as a yellow submarine.
Yeah. Yellow Submarine, okay. I watched, like, Akira when I was 7, and I was okay with that. Yellow Submarine creeped me the fuck out. Because it was all
You know
smiles and sinister. It was just sinister to me.
You know what? When I first saw it when I was a kid, I was fucking terrified as
Yeah.
well. Specifically, early on, there's a scene, I think it was John Lennon turns back into John Lennon from a big scary Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And that, like, I was haunted by that for the whole film. I was terrified he'd turn back into it again.
It's a creepy movie. It's a creepy movie.
Well, for a kid, I think
Yeah.
it would be horrifying for kids.
And then I found the ratties.
No, it's cliched and illogical.
No. Ratties.
I don't know what that is.
Ratties. You never saw the ratties?
I can't believe you've made a pop culture reference from childhood that I didn't get.
Yeah, especially because it was British.
Oh,
You remember the ratties?
No, I
think
don't
I'm
remember the
talking to
ratties at all.
myself.
Yeah. Oh, well, someone's gonna remember the ratties.
I remember Knightmare, which was a game show I really used to like, and it used to terrify
Part of
me
the
as well.
floor.
I have to call it Knightmare because if
part
I
of the
just say
floor.
nightmare, you assume it's just
Just a
spelled
loose
nightmare,
slab.
but it was spelled with a K. Because it was fantasy themed.
Nightmare with a K. So yeah, essentially,
Booby, bum. Okay,
Well,
I'm getting a handle on it
yeah,
now.
but you've lost the K. Like you need it needs to flow.
Yeah, I took it like bit at a time there. It was tricky, but I managed it.
Step by step,
Don't.
day by day.
No.
You too
Don't.
Hurt to break the
That's
wall
it.
down with
can
you. Brian will
one day at a
understand.
time, Yahtzee.
For a good
One day at a
cause.
time. By the end of this video, I'll give you your first booby bum chip. That lets you know that you've. It'll just be a picture of some tits and a bum, and it'll be. And
That was just bum. Something's broken.
this is
I need another
great.
coffee.
I could try
Yeah, we'll chalk it up to this video going for fucking 3 hours, but I'm glad I got out of bed today just for this. Like,
Totally trashed guitar.
Yeah.
Looking nothing like a totally trashed guitar in the cutscene.
because that would take effort.
Because that would involve having to create more polygons.
I think there's barely, like, polygon, like, I think there's barely plural in this.
Polygons in the 90s, they were like fucking gold bricks.
Platinum.
You could have like maybe 12 if you were lucky.
12? What do you think I'm made of, money?
carrying strange thoughts around the
Yes,
city.
glad. Thank you for
Looks
illustrating
like some
that
have
phrase.
gone AWOL.
And then this rat's dressed as a gangster.
Just as Roland Rad.
Rat. I got that stuck in my head now. And the idea is you gotta follow basically where the ideas are going. It's not that much of a maze, really. It's indistinguishable.
It is. I remember now what was like
These
the
must be
obnoxious
to stop
puzzle.
folks from
I will
wandering
bring
into
it
the
up when we
sewers and
see it.
getting eaten
We'll
by
get to it.
aliens.
Oh, and shit, there's a wall I have to break.
Of course, with a guitar.
Yeah.
Didn't need a cutscene for that one.
Nah, but we'll take a cutscene for this next bit.
A rusty yet sturdy
I wonder if that
root
guitar
support.
was loved by someone. You are a monster.
Just
Knutson.
Brian, and fuck that guy.
I think he's peaked in terms of monstrosity. I
Yeah.
preferred your earlier
I may
monster
have
work,
attracted
Knutson.
unwanted
Yeah, when you were
attention
killing
with that
perfectly
last
innocent TV
cavalier
salesman.
Yeah,
move.
back when it was just for the love of being a monster, you know?
It just doesn't want to
evil.
open. I can't
It was like
see a
the
use for
Washington
it.
Sniper. That was
Way too
interesting.
heavy and awkward.
Because, most lunatics have a goal. This guy was just like, I was going to shoot people.
It's like the Joker, really.
Well, I mean, that's scary. Like, that would make me not leave the house. Or it's just like, I mean, if it was some crazy racist, you'd be like, well, I shouldn't leave the house because I'm black and there's a crazy racist running around.
See,
if I was
the
black, I wouldn't leave the house.
See, the crazy racist operates within a structure.
A structure you can understand.
Rules.
Yeah, whereas it's like, this guy's just shooting people at random. Fuck that.
I mean, we've all gotten really, really angry and sort of acted irrationally for a bit. Throw papers off the desk. But to actually, like, take that so far as to go all the way up to a roof.
Yeah, I
with a
don't know.
gun.
I don't get
I
angry.
mean, it doesn't last that long. You can't be all the way up the stairs.
For me, self-control is the most important of things, and I find anger just such a pathetic loss. I don't get angry.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Aloof.
Well, that's why I quit drinking. You have to eliminate the forms of lack of self-control.
Look at you, Mr. Perfect Being.
I'm more zen than anybody else, and I'll fight to prove that.
You're just waiting for, like, the orbital satellite from Moonraker to come and call you up so you can father the next, like, human race.
No, see, I hate those people as much as anything else.
See, it stopped you being angry, but it didn't stop you being judgmental all the time, did it?
Well, it's important to be judgmental with compassion.
Live and let live, man.
Hey, I'm not a killer.
Unsafe, judging by its present
Well, only because you never had the chance. And I bet if you had a gun and, like, a free pass to do what you liked while you were working the door.
Nah. Anger, see, I was never good at anger. Anger takes so much energy. Compassion is just automatic.
Oh, there was like a...
People are dum-dums, but they're not bad.
There's a political cartoonist called Tim Creeder. This was the puzzle I hated. Like, because you have to get through the hole, and you have to, like, operate the hole to go through it. But you can only operate the edge of the hole. That's what I was stuck on for ages.
Yeah, this was me fiddling around too, and it's just like, I finally checked the FAQ, and I'm like,
and it's basically just busy work.
Yeah.
But yes, Tim Creeder, he did a cartoon. That was a political cartoon that I was thinking was a really good idea, was that when you're aging, there should be more milestones. Like, when you turn 18, you can drink. And when you're like, well, in America, when you're 21, you can drink. But after that, there's nothing. But there should be more things. And his suggestion was that if you manage to get to 85, you're allowed one free murder.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt has a whole stand-up routine where he details it, where it's like, if you get to 90, you're allowed to litter. If you get to 95, you can legally steal anything. You're not allowed to get a truck and a bunch of guys. If you as a 95-year-old can walk in, pick it up, and walk away with it, it's yours. That includes people.
Oh, I thought Tim Creeder was being original.
God knows. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where people have to be not so quick to call, plagiarism. Because people can come up with the same idea, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, people in the same environment who have similar minds that work the same way, it can happen.
I mean, you see, it's one of those things on the internet all the time where people are like, "Yeah, someone else already came up with that, you stole it." It's like, oh yeah, here's the weirdest joke in the game.
Okay. There's turds.
King Rat, yeah. But not just...
sensei for those ninja turds.
That was certainly a 90s joke, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Haven't I wandered into the wrong game?
No, there's no game with ninja turds.
There's a curious pattern with protagonists in 90s adventure games to be slightly, like, self-aware and breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, there was one earlier when I opened up the container, the shipping container.
Yeah, I remember that.
I need to get a fucking safer game.
As if, like, you know, the virtual actor thing actually ended up working out. Like they were going to do with...
I think Cunt had the same career trajectory as Feldman.
Oh, who was that? The main character from Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. The whole idea with her was that they were going to create this concept of a virtual actress, and she was going to
really,
she was going to be in other things. But obviously, nobody liked Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, so that didn't work out.
Because here's the thing: Final Fantasy stories are fucking retarded.
Yeah, but
like,
when you're trying to like.
That movie felt like Evangelion fanfiction.
You can't make a Final Fantasy style story into a Hollywood style film.
Jesus, no. It'd be like you know, Kojima doing a film. Could you imagine?
It'd be like compressing like 5 seasons of a really, really weird anime into a film.
Yeah, like if
what's going on? Who's shouting?
If Hideaki Anno and David Lynch decided to get together and make an 8-season spanning epic.
Have we won the game yet? We can't be far.
Nah, we're quite close.
I should be able to squeeze.
I mean, you got the brain, right?
No, I wasn't allowed to get the brain because you're not allowed to leave the hole with the brain. You have to get the special jacket.
Couldn't you just feed the hole through the brain?
No,
feed the brain through the hole, rather. Look at me, laughing at booby booby bum bum, getting my words the wrong way around.
And then this happens.
I think I'm running on fumes, me. Wait, how was Soul operating earlier if his entire brain was there? That is an entire brain.
Yeah.
That's not part of a
Successfully
brain.
removed Saul's brain from it. It's empty.
It's empty.
Saul's brain is safe.
Brain in suit.
There's a brain in a jacket. I'll call him George. And I'll
Hug
love
him and pet him.
Exactly, yes. I'm impressed you got the reference there.
Dude, come on, I'll warn about this. I plan on when my parents die, keeping the brains in a jar.
Just to punish them.
Well, no, like, you know, it's there'll be a jar, it'll be in a little box, and the box will have 2 doors, and you open the first door, and it's like, there's a picture of Dad. And then you open the second door, and it's a little glass window, and there's his brain. And Mum says she doesn't want this to happen, and I've said tough shit. Because it doesn't matter.
Or just do the hot shots thing. Just keep his eyes in a box.
Well, I mean,
say, I have my father's eyes. See?
Yeah, Mum's probably got a plan. Dad just wants to be donated to the UQ medical wing. So.
Was that joke not funny enough? You had to go and have another look.
I was curious to see if they did anything.
Yeah. Everyone, turds.
Turds, yeah, ninja turds.
Ninja turds. It is a joke.
Yeah, sort of. It's just peculiar. Like, it was just...
Because I hate over-analysis of a joke, but the trouble with a ninja turd is the moment it does a flying kick at someone, that is the end of that turd. That turd has become a ninja splat.
Then you're just throwing poo at people.
From down
basically.
there, whoever you are, being underground is not normal.
Oh,
Basically, yeah. I have to find the other...
Grandpa Simpson is getting involved.
Oh, there's an alligator.
Who lives in a
hello,
hole
Mr.
in the wall.
Alligator. Take it easy. That alligator is chained to the wall.
For
I have
some
nothing to undo
reason.
it with.
Who
I'm not
could
sure I
have
want
done
to
that?
either.
The Rat King.
Is the alligator
This
part of a
wall
puzzle?
sounds
No.
hollow as
I didn't think it was. I don't remember it. Seemed like a thing you'd remember.
There are a few branching puzzles, so I don't know, maybe there's a way of doing something with it, but... By this stage, I was completely out of patience. I just wanted it to end. And I'm, like, right close to it.
Elevator to
You know, I think
center
there
of
are
the earth.
better implements for destroying the wall
Yeah.
than a guitar.
I know,
Elevator
like,
to
that's-
the
It's strange how the guitar now
Figure I
seems to have
might
become the
stage.
wall
Door moves a
thing.
little.
Yeah, well, that's
I'm
it,
not
like,
quite
by
sure
this
enough
stage I
to
just had the
open it.
FAQ out. I wasn't even bothering to try and solve the
reckon I
puzzle, so I
can
just wanted to
jack
get the
doors
fucking thing
with this.
recorded, and...
It's like Deadly Premonition, where the only melee weapon that has that doesn't break and like has the highest attack stats is a guitar. So you're just going through this like slightly quirky horror game, smacking zombies with a guitar
Cool.
as an FBI agent.
And now, ending cinematic.
Ah, yes, we've won now, haven't we?
Yeah, that completely kind of is stupid.
Oh, he speaks without moving his lips, because that's rad.
My brain. And then this happens. Why is he rusty?
I was just wondering that myself. Is he wearing a corrugated iron shirt?
And then this thing that wasn't mentioned happens.
What?
Yeah,
His brain was magic? And now he's the Pope.
yeah,
Now he's Jesus Nistelux Christ.
yeah. And, like, that's the thing, like, they don't even have any dialogue.
It's yeah, basically everything's okay now.
Yeah,
And this guitar's fine.
yeah, and you can use it. And his music doesn't suck balls.
And his cock isn't dangling like something offensive. Lucky this isn't a 3D game.
Yeah. And then, yeah, there's no dialogue. There's no even, oh, and we wrapped it up. It's just,
And yeah, basically you've won.
yeah.
And in the grand tradition of Pixar films, we end on a
Everyone has a party.
dance party for
It's
everyone.
more of a DreamWorks tradition than a Pixar tradition. But yeah, and then just villains are just okay now. Everything's like, oh, everything's great.
Well, because the main villain is good now, and obviously they all get their orders somewhere. Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't think I want to have sex with anything now.
Dick went inside me. There's the mocap going to work. Cap those motions.
Oh, I think he's in there. That Norm is going to go home with your love interest, and all you can do is prance about like a spaz.
Yeah.
That
Even
is-
the
that
IT
is-
guy's dancing.
This is your life, cunt, Cunson.
This is
your
what
this is your life forever.
If this is the revolution, I want no partner.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's happy at the dance party, but
I don't dance.
someone's gonna have to clean up afterwards, and that's where the new oppression starts. They're going to oppress boring people, like that guy.
I love how long this goes, just basically repeating the same
That nerdy
stuff.
guy, I don't know why that nerdy guy is dancing. He's going to be like the persona non grata in the new society.
Same as the norms.
Yeah, they're
And
going to have to be registered with the government.
Yep. And then the revenge killings start.
You have to carry like a boredom license and pay boredom tax.
And I'm like, okay, there'll be an epilogue. It's like, nope.
There is, isn't there? After the credits?
There's something after the credits, but it's not an epilogue.
I do remember that. I remember like the game ends on about the lowest point it possibly could.
Yeah, of course it does.
Like that is like we'll get to it, but it's basically that this is the one thing the game wants you to have left in your head after you finish the game.
Yeah.
This is the summary of the whole experience compressed into a single moment to go away with.
There was a surprising absence of fart jokes.
There's
Biggin.
Biggin. There's a man called Biggin.
He has a wife, you know. This is automatic. But yeah, like it's.
I wonder if Mr. Biggin has a brother called Ivor.
Ivor Biggin. Long schlong. Voodoo in the face. Yeah,
That's directed by Ricky Martin. Can't be the one I'm thinking of.
Noted homosexual and Latin dance star.
No, he was all about the pussy.
No, he's gay.
Is he?
Yeah.
But why was he singing about pussy all the time?
Yeah, it's just gays are nice that way. They like to make culture that straight people can appreciate.
Oh, man.
Mostly out of fear that no one will buy the fucking albums. But I mean, things are getting better now.
They're the best people ever, gays.
They can...
I wish I liked the man.
Crackers and asthma.
I think that's the band. Because that's
That
exactly,
band
that's
sucks.
exactly the kind of name a stupid teenage band would come up with for themselves, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Crackers and asthma.
Shut up, go home, you piece of shit.
See, the best band names are just really simple. They'll just become that thing. Like Blur. Blur, they didn't feel the need to call themselves telephones and prostitutes. That would be a twat band. That would be a band full of twats.
The nice young gentleman British music experience.
Who's that sitting on the outside of the house, by the way?
I cannot honestly make it out from here.
I know it's someone from the
Legs.
game. Yes, this is what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
There's a photo of me from a friend's
Oh no,
birthday
someone's
party.
been sharing out the Joker gas.
Yeah. Where I'd taken basically 5 pills.
Just passing around the Joker bong.
Girls got a sexual assault report in the morning. And yeah, I'd taken like 5 fucking pills. And it's just... If you ever want to see like the Webster's picture for high, that's the picture.
There you go. That's normality. It's a big face full of puke.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I didn't want to hate on it for being really, really 90s, because that's kind of, you know, it's like hating on ugly people. It's just, no one picks that. That's
They
just,
didn't know any better.
Yeah,
but you
that's
know
just-
what? Even in the 90s, dressing in Wellington boots and sunglasses and a soul and a fucking soul patch would
it
get
was
you curb stomped by even the mildest elderly lady.
by gentle mods.
You get curb stomped with the fucking Zimmer frame. Going, take this, young man.
Oh, the terrible on dull day. They come down and buy tea. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it does a few things right, but it's one of those. Even by 1999, it had aged terribly.
You know, I like the idea of a 2.5D first-person adventure game. I just wish it hadn't been that 2.5D first-person adventure game.
Well, I didn't want to do Tex Murphy because that has dialogue you need to listen to.
And it's good, for a start.
Yeah. Although, I will say one thing about it. The guy in Tex Murphy looks like Ryan Stiles. And I couldn't stop thinking that was Ryan Stiles. I was expecting, like, jokes or, like, Wayne Brady to show up.
He was like the designer, you know?
Really?
Yeah, Chris Jones. He was the...
Oh, that's right, because he's trying to get a Kickstarter. I got to do another one.
Yeah, he was Tex Murphy. He was also, like, one of the main developers.
Yeah. I think that games like that kind of have their sort of lineage continued in games like The Walking Dead.
I think it's a
Telltale
good
game.
way to get, like, a good performance out of the actor is to be that involved in the project.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was just good luck that he was also good at acting to an extent.
Well, better. Like then,
Well, he was deadpan.
Yeah.
The character was very deadpan. That's not difficult to act.
And sarcastic, which is also not difficult to act.
Man.
I'd be a great sarcastic best friend in any movie or show.
Man, Tex Murphy was a great game. Pity we didn't just waste
play
3
it
hours playing the thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we learned some interesting things.
Yeah, we even managed to talk about the game occasionally on that one.
We learned you have trigger words, which is a...
No, I'm immune now. I've immunized myself.
No, I know you may be immune to that one, but I will find
I had
others.
to come up with another one.
Yeah. I'm curious, like, so can I give you your booby bum bum? No, because it's still, I can see effort, like there's effort in your
I've
face.
internalized it.
Yeah.
I've got it under control.
Right.
I can now retain my stiff upper lip.
Yeah, okay.
I'm now, like, immunized against future attacks upon my Britishness.
God help you, I will find a crack. This has become my little life goal now.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the experience.
It was worth it just for that. All of this, playing the game, the edits, the hassles, all of it was worth it just for that.
I think it's only because I was like had to sit in one place for 3 hours.
Yeah, well, we had the pee break. That was exciting.
Yeah, well, more exciting than the game.
First Let's Play to have a pee break.
Any final moments for our loving audience?
I don't want to be too harsh on the game. I don't think it sucked. I just think it was an unfortunate product of its era.
I think the thing we need to go away with is that sometimes oppression is good for you.
Yeah, actually.
Because otherwise you turn into Mr. Knutson.
Government knows best.
Yes. Wear the Wellington boots while out gardening. If you wear them at any other point, you will be shot.
Don't be cunt squared.
Cunt squared. That's a better one.
I've been saying that all throughout this. I literally said that first, and
Did
you just don't listen to me.
No, I don't. No, I don't, because you say things like booby bum bum to try and trip me up.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's another fun thing, is trying to play these games back when there was no mouse look. Up, down, left, right was forward, back, like rotate left and rotate right. There was no strafe.
Yeah, I remember I played a lot of 2.5D shooters still with the cursor keys. And without mouse look, because I
no mouse look.
Because I knew no better.
And so basically, I have to get a rubber pipe and hook it up to the bathroom, which smells like fart because of the really glitchy fucking thing from ages ago. And then I hook it up to the Norm truck.
I remember you could... Oh, God, you monster. I remember you could get mouse look for 2.5D shooters.
Duke Nukem 3D, I know you could. I'm pretty sure that was the first one, but it was so grotesquely implemented.
I think you could look left and right, but you couldn't look up and down with mouse look.
Which is not helping.
Yeah.
There's little point in causing aggravation when we're locked together in this.
See, this is Rimmer and Lister.
That's a Liverpool accent, that is.
It was not me, no. Lee DePaul will hear this.
I don't know, for some reason I just thought Rimmer and Lister when this was going.
Yeah, Gremlin Interactive must have been based in the north of England, and these were the voice actors that happened to be sitting around.
You can talk.
Oh, that's evocative.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I heard that, I was just like,
that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, credit where it's due. That was a good line. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably an old Britishism, but
I never heard that one before.
That's
that
visual.
Was good. An arse like the top of a brown sauce.
Yeah,
bottle.
that's visual. That's very visual. And now they're vomiting and they flee the truck, which
Well, I
is good
suppose we should be grateful you didn't gas them to death.
yeah. You know when Di died earlier?
When Di died.
Yeah, he didn't die. He's just in the truck.
A die, a do.
Yes. You're getting tired.
So they weren't taking him to hospital or anything.
Nah, they probably just...
Yeah.
And so if you walk over that hole...
I think we misjudge Colombian drug lords, said Knutson.
Morally, I don't see anything wrong with what they do.
Well, I believe in the legalization of all drugs, so yeah.
Well, you know, look...
Short-circuiting, that was
Culture
easy.
of self-responsibility, man.
Yeah.
Just know what you should and should not put in your face.
Yeah. Did you fuck yourself up? Yes, but... No. No, but. You're an idiot.
Do you really need the
Excellent.
law
The
to explain
circuit
that
board
to
has
you?
power now, and my work is nearly done.
So yeah, I've powered up the circuit board. I'm about to push a button and make a thing
Got
happen.
power.
Don't put lids from old tins between your teeth. That shit hurts.
Okay, so now I've done this, and...
And you've done something monstrous?
Yeah, well, I've overloaded this thing. There was also a teddy bear on a noose in this room. That seems to, like, yeah, I must have edited out the bit where I looked at it, but there was just, you get the wire from it, and you get some eyes from it. So yeah, teddy bear on a noose, I like that. And so yeah, I blow up the building and just survive because...
The man inside the stockroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I thought the monstrous thing was just not letting him out, but no, we have exploded
Killed
him.
an innocent human being.
We have
He wasn't a knowing part of the revolution. He was just a dude that worked in the fucking TV store.
we have destroyed a consciousness. We have destroyed everything that man ever was, will, or will be.
Yeah, and I'm like...
Geez, I
was, is, or
made a
will be,
mess of
rather.
that power station. Well, at least the flame
Yeah, you really made a mess of the guy inside
Yeah.
it.
And then I saw this over here and was like, huh.
Oh, you literally did kill the man. Because his ghost is here.
Yeah, it looks like the ghost of the guy on the TV, though. That's the thing, and you can't look at it, you can't acknowledge it, and I'm just like, I just killed man. I just killed, like, an innocent human being. This wasn't, like, one of the norms, or anyone who could be said to be part of the problem.
Maybe that's just how he visually identifies himself.
Possibly.
Because, you know, when you talk about people recreating their images from their images of themselves in their minds, ourselves are one of the few things we look at on a regular basis. Because we're inside ourselves.
But we frequently get it wrong, too.
I mean, there's a line from Red Dwarf where Rimmer says, it's not easy to look in the mirror every morning and see a guy nobody likes. And the cat says, well, how do you think we feel? We have to look at it all day.
That was one of Rimmer's actual brutal lines of pathos. That was really...
Yeah.
It's just like...
He was a sad man as well as a twat.
That's the, like, that was one of the things where he was a twat character, but you felt for him.
Yeah, a character to be pitied.
Yeah. And you kind of... Yeah, like early Rimmer, like the first 2 seasons, you know, of that show was one of the best stuff ever. And it was heartbreaking.
Oh, that was a lot of firecrackers in that box.
Yeah, they're still going, and I have to get a tube.
Of course. Now let's go into this unsupervised, destroyed mall and loot the place. You monster.
Oh, nobody cares that much. And this is one of those ones, like, you know, the games where, because you have a physical presence in the area, so there are some things you can't pick up unless you're close to it.
You know what kind of surprises me is that you go from the outside of the mall to the inside of the mall without a loading transition.
Yeah. I kept expecting there to be a loading transition there, so I'd, like, always save it before I did.
Was that a jump cut?
Yeah, that was just a jump cut, because I walked around for ages trying to work out, like...
Well, at least there's something you cut out.
No, I cut a fair bit out, so I forgot a few bits too, because it's hard to tell the bits that's meant to be in here. So yeah, there's the rubber pipe that I need.
I can't reach it from
but
here.
I can't just... I have to be close to it.
Remind me what the controls of this game were, because I know they weren't WASD and mouse. A bowl full of cookie dough tastes good. You can feel your, like, guts screaming at you while you eat it.
It's like eating paper mache.
Anyway, what's wrong with Soul?
Saul's going insane because he put part of his brain into the mood thing, and so basically you have to find his brain.
I guess that's why it was a once-in-a-lifetime invention. Because he had to use part of his brain in the workings.
Once in a lifetime.
Okay, a missile.
Still, that's commitment.
Yeah. Yeah, so essentially we need a missile to break the pollution machine on top of the prison.
You are a monster, Kent Knutson.
Yeah, so this has evolved from pranks to blowing up an innocent individual to the construction of weapons.
Yeah, we are a terrorist.
This is actually a really good microcosm of the problem of all revolutionary forces. This is generally what pattern they follow.
Yeah, we are a terrorist, and we dress like a twat. We are irredeemable from every angle.
With a few remarkable modern exceptions, though. You know, Egypt's been a really interesting case study in sort of a population overthrow of political regimes, actually, because it looked like it could have gone really bad.
It worked out well for them, didn't it?
Well, no, but that's the weird thing, is it looked like it was going to go really bad, but then they were like, nuh-uh, combo revolution, and had a second one, like a year after the first one, and was like, no, you're not allowed to be a dick, fuck off, we want this done right. And it's been rather impressive, like, there's really an amazing amount of human good that's come out of that.
Well, you know what I worry, is that the Egyptian people are being a bit fussy, and they're just gonna... and they're just gonna end up like, you know, someone trying on dresses in a shop.
That said with a British accent is just perfect.
I saying, are you gonna have a revolution every time things are a little bit crap now? You just can't be pleased, can you? Can you? You won't be told. It's going, well, can we just have a little bit less oppression, I think.
Fixed him with magic and now he's fine. There he is.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That consequence that happened earlier, yeah, that's meaningless.
I guess they just shot that hip flask full of ketchup he kept in his coat.
They're only allowed to have airsoft guns, isn't it?
I guess alcohol will be banned in this unfun society. So you got to fill your hip flasks with condiments.
And let them go off, just long enough.
In case you're caught short with a bag of chips, it makes sense. In fact, I might do that now. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to fill a hip flask with brown sauce. HP sauce. I love HP sauce.
So do I.
So if I'm having chips at like grill or something and there's no HP sauce, I can just pull out my hip flask.
Can't bring your own sauce. I'd just stare at someone who did that. Like, it'd just be perplexing to me. I'd just be like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, that's what makes it a good code of behaviour. Yeah. It's the kind of thing that people will look at you like you're mad, but it makes sense when you explain it.
Okay, now bear with me here. I'm going to slowly explain while I'm doing this really odd thing, and that's going to make me seem less insane. Hey, where are you going?
The hip flask might have like the neck might be too narrow
Yeah.
for brown sauce. Maybe vinegar. Bit of malt vinegar to put on your chips.
Malt vinegar on chips is nice.
I love that.
And so now I have to get the
Let's think
materials
about-
to build a ground-to-air missile.
Ah, fuck that. Let's just think about our favourite chips some more.
My favorite chips.
You just can't do chips in Australia like they used to do in the English fish and chip shops. Because they try to actually make good chips here. They just, in England, they just soak them in animal fats for half an hour. You'd hold them by one end and they'd just droop.
Yeah, here they actually try to make them tasty.
Those were good chips, though.
It's just fucking globs of...
Tasted good like a